finding my feet. You know I've been distant, yeah, you know I've been distant. Then I heard about Jesus Christ, he saved my life, I'm a real life Christian. Yes, sir. Still learning my way, learning my place in the game. Skip for us is eternal life, that's better than Christmas. I got men of God by my side, we staunch for the Lord like soldiers. Turn away from your sin, no folders, he took God away straight off my shoulders. I was digging my grave at a young age.
Nah, we're gonna go to where me and my family grew up in Tregear, so yeah, we're gonna spin the block and yeah, go spit a yarn wherever we go to. First we're going to where the Tregear sign is, and then gonna run to my old childhood place where we grew up, all of us. Yeah, that's Tregear right there also. Yeah, wow, mad. Yeah, hectic, bro.
Yeah, we all grew up.
Yeah, mad.
Yeah,
mad,
we
bro.
just moved to Island. What was it like raising us as kids?
Yeah, it was, honestly, it was sometimes hard because Sally and I had split shifts. So I'd work during the day, she'd work in the afternoon. I'd do all the cooking, had to take us all training. I had to do all nappy changing. It made me grow up, to be honest, because it wasn't easy. But I did it out of love. And when I started training as well, it was also, everyone thinks that I train just because I want you to make the NRL. That was never the case. The truth was I just wanted to be around you boys. They wanted to be around Tiara as well, but she was never into footy, so she just handed out the cones and drew colouring in pictures and stuff like that. But she was, but as you know, you boys ended up becoming better and better, and it was sometimes hard, sometimes easy. Sometimes I needed motivation to come and train as well, because sometimes I felt like I didn't want to do it because I was tired and stuff like that. But I never stopped, because I thought, I started believing in you that you could actually go all the way when you got older. So I just kept going, and this is where we grew up, and we only just moved out a year ago. Yeah. Once these guys got a bit older and started cutting loose on each other, it was a bit sad. But one day I did let Tyrone and Terrell sort their differences out the back here once. Terrell was about 12 years old and didn't even have a hair on his chin, and Tyrone was about 15 at the time and was just going through puberty, and yeah, it didn't last too long, but Terrell gave it the best shot. But they never disrespected me when they were growing up. They were pretty well level-headed. They never disrespected their mum either. Tyrone was always respectful. Terrell was always respectful. And Tiny as well, he was pretty respectful to us as well. He knew the boundaries, he knew the limits, he didn't push it too far. But I'm proud where they came from.
Competitive household?
Very competitive.
Like everything?
Everything.
PlayStation, table tennis, basketball?
Yeah, whatever we played, it was to the end, and I always wanted to win. They always wanted to win. Their mum was very competitive too, so even when they played football after games, they not only got criticised from me watching the video, they also got criticised from their mother as well if they didn't play well. There was Gus Gould in the house, Wayne Bennett and Robbo. We're all coaches. We all thought we were super coaches. I came from my old school environment myself. I grew up with a mum and dad at the beginning, but my dad was violent, so my mum left him when I was young, and then I didn't get to grow up with a stepdad until I was about 12. But he was old school as well, so if you'd done the wrong thing, you copped a hiding. And I just followed on with the tradition. If the boys got out of line or were cheeky or swore in front of anybody or were disrespectful to their elders or disrespectful to anyone in the family, I would give them a hide. I'm not even going to lie, I'd belt them big time. They never got away with much. Whatever they did get away with, they'd get snitched on by each other anyway. And then they'd get another hiding. And I didn't like to be lied to. Obviously, the money was hard, but we lived in the housing commissions, so we can't complain. You know, the rent's pretty cheap in the houses. the conditions are not the greatest, you know, it's full of asbestos and things like that. And sometimes it was tough because they would miss a meal or two. Sometimes they didn't take much lunch to school. We didn't really have time to fix lunch or do that because we were in and out, you know, we didn't have time. And they were only young. So we felt bad about it, but it's just one of those things, you know, you have to go through it when you're living a little bit poorer than everyone else. But I never complained about it, and it was never an excuse for them not to go to school or have a bad attitude or think that the world was against them. It's not. You make your own journey in life, and it's up to you whether you succeed or not. And you can't make excuses. And Tyrone was always the respectful one in the family. He was very respectful to his mum and dad. He was a little bit different. He had a lot of talent, and I don't know. He didn't always think that we knew that he was lying, but he did lie there a little bit. We knew he was lying, and he also, I don't know. He was also just the oldest, and he was the example of the rest of the family. And sometimes he was setting the right example, and sometimes, unfortunately, he set the wrong example, especially when he hit the spotlight. And we all know what happened there, and it was disappointing for us. But at the end of the day, I'm not ashamed to say that I still love all my kids, and I'm still proud of all of them as well, what they've achieved in life. Terrell's always been obviously the one who wants everyone to be together. He's really family orientated. If there's an actual Samoan in my house, it would be his mum and him. He's more Samoan than the other two. The other two are fake Samoans, that's for sure. And they grew up more like me, Aussie. But Terrell, he always wanted to have the family together. He was a caring person, but when he snaps, it's time to run. He's one of those. He's a gentle giant, but when he gets angry, especially if you say anything about his mum, it's over. He loves his mum. Obviously, his mum is his favourite, and I'm just glad that he's grown up to be the person he has, because me and him growing up, out of the three, had the biggest beef. I hammered him. I hammered him going up the hills. I hammered him because I thought he was lazy. I hammered him all the time. As a matter of fact, it was borderline bullying on my part. And if I could change anything when I was growing up with him, it would have been the fact that I should have eased up on him, because everyone has a different personality. I pushed Tyrone and Tiny because they wanted to be pushed, and they could handle the pushing, but Terrell could not. And if I'm being honest, I'll probably look back and say to myself, you know what? I should have taken a bit different approach to Terrell, because he's a different person. But he's grown up, and me and him now are probably the closest out of all the family, because he lives with us. He's got a baby, and we've been together for a long time, and we go for walks and talks all the time. And he's turned into being a really good person, and he looks after his family, and he really cares about us big time. Now on the Tiny, obviously, was born facing the ceiling, and I thought, yeah, me and him are going to have a close bond all the way through our lives. And when he was young, we were really close. I took him everywhere because he loved doing anything to do with sports. He was there. Anything to do with training, he wanted to be there. He was the one who pushed me half the time to go and do things. He was very athletic. He was just gifted. For some reason, if there's a God, he got all the gifts from God when it comes to athleticism. And as we got older, his and my personalities clashed big time. And I just felt, if I'm being honest, now he's become a man. We've had our issues, but I know within a couple more years, once he gets to 20, 25, 26, he'll realise that I wasn't just trying to teach him stuff, and I wasn't trying to be evil to him. I was just trying to tell him the right things to do in life, because you often don't want to listen to your parents when you get older. And unfortunately for Tiny, he hasn't been listening to me lately, but I'm still proud of him, and I hope he gets through all these things he's going through, and he comes through it and gets through the other side and becomes the man I know he can become. But I love them all the same.
Word to redemption, praise my Lord. I know that he listens, heard his call, so I made my decision. Ayy, word to redemption, praise my Lord. I know that he listens, heard his call, so I made my decision. Ayy, word to redemption, Road to redemption, praise my Lord. I know that he listens, heard his call, so I made my decision. Ayy, road to redemption. Road to redemption, praise my Lord. I know that he listens, heard his call, so I made my decision.
We do this about 3 times a week, and I would torture them. I'd make sure they'd go up that hill, and then they'd walk back. Sometimes they have to jog back. They all were racing against each other. Tyrone would always win, obviously, because he was older. But what annoyed me the most was Terrell would always come third, and his brother was 2 years younger than him. So I used to punish Terrell. I'd send him, we'd all get in the car, pack away after the sesh, and then I'd make him collect all the poles and then carry him all the way home back to Tregear, which is only about 4 minutes away from here, but still at the end of the day you had to do that a lot. I also made him run from Plumpton a couple of times when he didn't finish sessions. So yeah, but this is the famous hill right here, and obviously I did it for a number of reasons. One, because it's good for your legs and it gives you good stamina, and it just trains you to be more resilient, because the games they're playing is tough, and stamina wise you've got to keep going and going and going. So I wanted them to be competitive, not just at the first minute but also at the last minute as well. So I think Tyrone was around about 10 when we moved here, maybe 9, but I still brought him down here when a bit earlier. I think Tyrone was about 8. So they all started their journey with Tyrone. Obviously Tyrone older, so these guys started younger, and obviously they felt like it was a army boot camp invented by a white general, basically, by the May, and that's how they must have felt. But I showed no mercy at all, and I don't regret it for 1 minute, because if I didn't do that, they wouldn't have known what the NRL is all about, and it is about that. You've got to be resilient, and I'm sure they've done a few army camps in the NRL as well, and that's what it was about. Just making them push it to the limits. Even if they didn't make the NRL, it was still to make sure that they learnt that, you know what, in life nothing comes for free. You have to work, and work hard.
I won all the races, but he didn't really give me a choice. He said, because I was the oldest, so I had to win. So yeah, it was pretty scary. It wasn't scary, it was pretty, we knew when we were doing the hill, because we were just going, make sure you drink a lot of water today. So we'd all look at each other and we're like, far out, we're on here. Especially in the school holidays, other kids doing other stuff and we were just down here. But yeah, even at the end of the sessions we'll do like a little kick and catch game, and there was always a punishment for the loser or like a reward for the winner. So like I said, everything was competitive, nothing come easy. Even the runs, I made sure I had to win them all. Even around the baseball fields, he's like, just make sure you win. He would time everything, he would record everything. Even when we were like 14, 15, we had house weights, made sure that we had a gym program. It was pretty intense, pretty crazy, but I don't regret it either. I feel like it's the best thing that happened to us.
Probably a lot of people's already heard my story about my dad being this, you know, crazy guy since we were young, and yeah, it's pretty crazy to like see nowadays what it got us. Like back in the day, like I said before, like we used to think, what the hell are we doing, bro? Like every other kid's playing around, you know, at their cousin's house, doing all this fun stuff, and us boys, like as 8-year-olds, 5-year-olds, 3-year-olds, like we're running Tregear Hill and running baseball fields, doing sprints, and this wasn't just like once every blue moon. This was 3 times a week, you know, and I think that really shows the resilience we all got now from my dad. So yeah, it's a blessing in disguise. We didn't realize it when we were young, but now we realize like anything that comes that's hard, to us it's not that hard, because we've already been through hard stuff and we did it all together. But like my dad said, yeah, I had a different mindset back then. I was really lazy, and Tiny would smoke me, Tyrone would smoke me, and yeah, I was always the guy that just pretty much watched them do their thing, and then I had to learn myself. Like no one could get me out of that system, that cycle of just being lazy and being weak in the mind. But yeah, I think it really tested me back then, and now I got the resilience and that. So yeah.
If you were in our household and we were training, you had to come train with us. Like our cousins would hate coming to our house because they knew there was no soft drink in the fridge, there was no junk food. And then if it's a day that we're training, you're training with us, you had no choice. So Joe Mate wouldn't let you stay at home. Even my sister would have to come down and do the cones for us. So yeah, even our mum watching, and she would always like give us a little spray and that.
I don't know, I was heaps young, so I think just being that young, like you just have a ball of energy. So yeah, like the kids that were young, you just want to train, and I don't know, I guess you're always trying to chase your older brothers. So yeah, for me it was just mainly trying to keep up with them, and yeah, just show that I was good or something. That's pretty much it.
it was funny because my mum would never snitch on us, but then she would have those days, lad, where, bro, we just running amok, and then you just know when you get the message from my dad, yeah, wait till I get home. We just knew, like, we used to put heaps of jumpers on, like 3 jumpers, tracksuits, and my dad knew, like, why, so we'd have to take off our tracksuits and just wear shorts and that, and just cop the maddest hidings with whatever, like with the clothes he told us to wear. Or like, bro, because when Tiny was young, he used to always run away from my dad and try to hide under the bed. So my dad had to go and like grab him from under the bed and just give him hiding, bro. Or like, when we were younger, we used to hide my dad's belts and that.
The hardest ones.
Hey, remember that, boys? We used to hide my dad's belt.
Yeah, remember?
Yeah, and then if we were angry at each other, like if we were angry at each, we used to run and go, Dad, I know where your belt is, and run and grab the belt line and just watch your brother.
I'll be living in a limelight. I just sit back, relax till it's my time. In my raps, I could never tell a white lie. We come alive at night like it's twilight. She at the door saying bye bye. I'm in the rooftop looking at the skyline. Don't connect, I'm not giving you my Wi-Fi. Just pull up, correct and text on ways. Where you at? Where you at, ma? LSG, pulling to your ends on ways. Asking faded. More money, more bread, make stress go away. TVO, know the girl like bot, jiggy, let the kitty go away. Tryna cuff, no way. It's a lightweight, yeah. I know the feds who want me convicted, so I wait back and just smile from a distance. Hooks to the fresh white kid, he the boss of the way, he don't need no assistance. Used to get swerved on the gram, nowadays daddies wanna send me some pictures. Why you keep
All the sessions on the hill, and if J-Mate wanted to do the ball skills, would come down here and, I don't know, goal kick, do everything, pass the ball, hit the poles, and I don't know, it's pretty intense. Like, all the trainings were intense, it wasn't the easy ones, but like I said, it put us in good stead as we got older and into the NRL. Maybe personally I got a bit like lazy without doing extras, because I feel like I done all my reps here as a kid, so all these people think that we're all these mad, natural, talented players. Maybe Tiny's got the gift of the genetic wise, but like all his passing, all his skill, all of that's come from our old man just being who he is and being the father that he was, you know. Probably more of a coach. Like when I was younger, I felt like he was more of a coach, but as I got older, I realised it was all beneficial for me and for me as a younger kid, not hanging around the streets and being a dickhead. I was out here training hard, and then probably got in trouble off my own back when I moved out of home. So that's on me. That's not on the fam. As you can see, it's pretty good. Like there's a lot of areas where we could train. So as soon as we moved to Tregear, we had the hill, we had the reserve. St Mary's have a few things, but it was all pretty, like, we were dreading it when we were younger, but like as we got older now, we appreciate it for what it was. You know what I mean? Like as I said, I keep repeating it, put us in where we are today, the position that we are today, and we're grateful to have a dad like that. A lot of boys probably didn't have a dad like growing up around these areas, but our dad was a bit different, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah. Bay a half cast, I could tell from a thickness. I know sort to a soft and petite, I could tell from an aura that this one is vicious. Too much. Yeah, a little psycho might turn to a victim. Sorry off that, I'm not down for a missus. Try to hurry up and go, pour me more mixes. I've been living in a limelight, I just sit back, relax till it's my time.
Yeah, this is the flats in Tregear. This is where we live, like a minute from our house. And then you got the bridge and that over there, that's not too far. And then you got Tregear Public School where I went, that's like a minute. And yeah, I think walking around here, like, to be honest, it used to be like pretty scary, because you never know what you're gonna run into. And yeah, like I said, there's a lot of violence around here. But yeah, this is pretty much where we grew up.
Tiny knows a bit more than me and Tyrone, because when we moved to Tregear, I was like, I think 8, and I only went to Tregear Public for 1 year, and Tiny been through here, so he's seen more. Just like, if you look around, bro, it's just trash everywhere. Council really don't care about this place, bro. Like, you hear stories about the flats, and you hear just the worst of the worst come here. They just send whoever here, and people that just come off the street. So probably a good thing, like, for them. But yeah, like, you got little kids just walking around, and to see this, it's probably a bit terrifying. And that, like, even for us as little kids, like when my dad used to send us to the shops, you see people on the sidewalk, like, asking for money or like swearing, being aggressive towards you, and you're a little kid, you don't know why they're doing that. And yeah, a lot of drama happens around here, especially when we were going to Tregear Public. Tiny told us, like, pretty much every day there was a fight, and one time there was 13 fights. So yeah, it's a violent area, but at the end of the day, bro, it's just who you surround yourself with and who's your people. Like, yeah, it's gonna manifest you into the person you are. And yeah, I look around and I see young kids like from this generation doing that stuff, and I just think like, it's just because of the environment, you know, like they probably can't help it. They got like some trauma and stuff going on in their lives. Yeah, these people out here probably, even for us, like probably think, yeah, the worst of the worst if you're an outsider, but for us, we just thought it was normal. So
Yeah, one thing like about growing up here is that like it's always gonna be our home, and for me this is like normal now. Like, well, it was normal. Like what we see is normal.
nah, we'll go in the thing.
Yeah, eats, bro.
Yeah, come.
Come over here. Come on, you don't get
What's the name, bro?
Caleb.
Caleb, Terrell, bro. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
This is one of the local boys, Caleb, and he's from these flats, eh?
Yeah, just live up there on the top floor, bro.
Yeah.
You know what, like, it's they use this place to just dump a lot of, you know, lads getting out of jail, mental health place.
Yeah.
But it's not, and then they don't help anyone, bro. They just kind of get them out of the way, you know. Like they've done that to me as well after getting out, and like, bro, like every place, like this place doesn't sleep, bro. Like I'm up there going off every night because it's just non-stop. Yeah, that bottom one there, that flat runs down into that flat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my flat, the roof, there's holes all through the roof. Even this building here. So the lady that was living here, she set it on fire. She took petrol everywhere,
Holy.
and it burnt all up here, all up mine, wrecked all my stuff. And they didn't even come and do a check or anything. All they did was put those things on, new barriers.
Yeah.
Because they were all bent from the fire, bro. Really, no cunt should be living in there.
100.
You know what I mean? And nah, you know what, bro? If you're trying to chase something up like that, bro, it needs it. Because this whole place, bro, like, you know, there's good people here, bro. They just need to have a chance, you know what I mean? And more fucking things they do here, and like opportunities and services and all that shit, bro. Instead of just getting dumped here and left with it, you know?
Yeah.
And even with me, bro, when I finished my parole, like I had no one helping me. Like that's it, bro. And you just get left with it here, and then, you know. And if you want to try to stay out of jail and crime and stuff like that, which I'm doing, it's, you know, it's fucking hard to progress, bro. You go try and get work, and they just look at you like you're a suspect. But you know what, bro? It's good that you actually care about the community, because a lot of people just want to fuck off, bro, and get to a better place, you know.
Yeah.
But this place he's doing mad, bro. Like even out here in the rain.
Yeah, bro. like my brother said here, bro. Like, bro, you see cops come here all the time, and bro, nothing changes. You know, they just come here, harass the people, harass the community, and then just leave. You know, like, bro, why can't the council come here and help out the people here? That's why they're just in the same cycle, bro. Drugs, you know, jail, all that kind of stuff.
All of it, bro.
Yeah.
Even the coppers come up here. I didn't do nothing, but just because I got the orders, the prohibition orders and that. But they come in and shot me with the taser, tasered me about 15 times, jabbed me with something. I ended up strapped at the bed in the PN hospital. I'm getting a payout for it now because I did nothing, but
Yeah.
they're here every day just harassing people. They threw old uncle over the balcony down here and broke his hip. And bro, he like this big, he's like 60s, you know?
Yeah, this is how the people in the flats, bro. Like I said before, like this community, man, like it's the worst suburb for being the poorest, the worst for crime rate, and there's no help. Like as you can tell, the brother said it here, like there's no help, man.
All that stuff, bro.
But I want to be better for my kids, you know. You know.
I'm finding my feet, you know I've been distant, yeah, you know I've been distant. Then I heard about Jesus Christ, he saved my life, I'm a real life Christian. Yes, sir. Still learning my way, earning my place in his kingdom. Amen. His gift for us is eternal life, that's better than Christmas. I got men of God by my side, we staunch for the Lord like soldiers. Turn away from your sin, no folders, he took all the weight straight off my shoulders. I was digging my grave at a young age, I didn't even notice. Confess from your mouth that Jesus is Lord now, it's time to stay focused. Yeah, I'm dedicated, used to be weak, now I elevated. Cause timing ain't estimated, he gave me a vision that's a revelation like